Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center. Here to congratulate you on your purchase of your Jayco 38 FLSA fifth wheel. You guys have picked a beautiful Pinnacle. I'm here to walk you around the unit, show you how to use a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by arriving at the campsite. Of course, our hitchman is going to show you how to unhook this hitch. One thing I want you to keep in mind when you're parking is your slides. So you got a slide on the rear, 3 slides on this side, and then over on your campsite you have sliding steps as well. So keep that in mind when you're parking. I also want you to think about where your water and electricity hookups are going to be. Your water is going to be on your driver's side toward the front, and then your power is going to be on the driver's side all the way at the rear. So take that in consideration in parking so you can access the utilities better. After we've arrived at the campsite, we've unhooked, show you how to use your auto leveling system. I do recommend opening your slides before auto leveling. Here you simply push these 2 buttons, hold them for a second, and that'll turn it on. Now you can bring your hitch up and down when unhooking. Bring your stabilizing legs down. These will come down just by loosening this, and then bring it down and get your unit level. Go inside, bring your slides out, and then do your auto leveling. Hit this auto level, the whole unit's going to dance around. Not much, but just enough to bring everything nice and level. Once we've got our unit level, stable, next thing we want to do is hook up our water and electricity. All the way to the back of the unit, again on your campsite, or off campsite, driver's side. You do have a power cord that hand pulls out, retracts back in with this button. Make sure when you're retracting it back in, you move it back and forth so that it doesn't all bunch up in one area. Now you do have 50 amp service to this, so along with your convenience pack will be this 50 to 30 amp plug. And should you need to plug into a 110, you can go from 30 down to 110 with this. This amperage reducer will be in your convenience pack as well. So we've got our power hooked up. Next thing you want to do is hook up our water. Coming up to your docking station. Oh, you do have a light in here we'll turn on. Let's talk about your docking station. All your instructions for where to set your knobs, depending on dry camping or power tank fill, your city water, winterizing or sanitizing, you do that all from here. Let's start by hooking up our city water. First and foremost, water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the pressure to 40 to 50 psi's. Most trailers want a max of 60, so you definitely want to use this whenever you're plugging any water into your unit, because you don't know what the park campsite's water pressure is set at, and you want to protect your lines. We hook up our city water connect. Don't turn your hose on yet. You're going to go up here and set it to city. White is that way, blue is down, black is there, and both these are up. Before turning on your water, you're going to want to come over to your hot water heater and just check and make sure your drain plug is in. You may have left it out from last time you emptied your hot water heater, and you want to make sure that this is in there and ready to fill up your hot water heater. Now this is your hot water heater access, just to the right of your docking station. Now we can go ahead and turn on our city water. After our city water has been on for a while, we're going to burp or release air from the water line. Pull on this, it'll release air, and then when water steadily flows out there, then you know your hot water tank is full and you can turn it on from inside. Now should you be using potable water, we're going to fill in the same line. We're going to set it up for dry camping. That to the right, both of these down, both these up. And now, whenever you're using that, you're going to turn on your water pump. Only use your water pump if using potable water. You do not need it for your city tank. And there's the setup on how to set it for winterizing and sanitizing, which we'll talk about when dumping our tanks and using the tank flush. So we've got our water hooked up, our electricity hooked up. I'm going to walk you around the unit and show you a few other things. You start by your outdoor shower. There's your handle here, you pull that out. Turn on your waters here. This is set up for a sanitation where you can get some soap to wash your hands. City Water Connect, black tank flush. We'll talk about black tank flush when dumping the tanks. And up here your cable and satellite hookups. This here is access should you want to run your water line down through there instead of leaving your cabinet door open. Here's your hot water heater. Above that is your furnace heat release. Steer clear of that, that can get rather hot. There's your leveling jacks. Now here, when the slides close, you'll be able to easily access your gray water tanks and your low point drain. Coming back behind that. Back here we do have your sewage sump. Your black and gray water holding tanks back here as well. This here is for a Sanacon system. Macerator. Coming back around to the back of your tank, back of your unit, there's your gray water dump. You do have a ladder on the back of your unit to go up and check your seams. Make sure everything is good up there. Keep an eye on those when you're traveling. This is the spare tire manual crank. See your spare tires underneath there. Put your crank in that through that hole. We're into the campsite now. You do have a couple of 110s. Your separate access door. Big beautiful awning. What I do want to mention on your awning is you just want to run that out until that flap falls down to 90 degrees, and then you know you're out far enough. Your campsite slide. Low point drain for when you're leaving. That white little button up there will open up. Your outdoor speakers. Another low point drain. Up and through there. So in here you have your central vac system. So if you hook your hose up, turn it on, you can vacuum this out. There's your hand crank for manual overrides. So if you want to set a TV in here, you've got a 110 and cable hook up there and another 110 on this side. You also have some lighting. Here is your propane. Now this is your spare tank on this side. Up front you have your batteries. Check your terminal connections now and then. Make sure everything's nice and tight. Going around to your regular propane over here. You do have a regulator. Simply point the regulator towards the tank that you wish to use. Then your pass-through storage. It looks like they put an aftermarket paper towel holder out here, which is a great idea to clean up when you're done with all this stuff. Alright, that about covers everything on the outside. Oh, I just noticed, in case you're wondering, this when your off campsite up here, that is a hood vent for your microwave. About covers everything out here. Let's take a look on the inside. Alright, coming up your steps by your entry door will be your fire extinguisher. You always know you have a fire extinguisher at your entry door. To the right here is more vacuum. Lift that up and it'll automatically turn your vacuum on. Sweep your debris in there. To the left of your steps is your 12-volt carbon monoxide detector. Now this carbon monoxide detector runs off your battery at all times. So if you're going to be gone for the day, I highly recommend that you use your battery disconnect, otherwise this will run your batteries down. Let's talk about your control panel here in your little coffee bar area. Now you've got two, actually three altogether. You do have your electronic one down here, which you can run through, go to home, and you can run through everything. Your awnings, your levelers, your slides, you can control everything from here. Or, go right above there to your manual one. Ceiling lights, gray tanks. Here's where you turn on your water pump if you're using potable water. If you're plugged into electricity, you turn on your water heater here. If you're on gas, you turn on your water heater here. Here's where you prime and start your generator, should you put a generator up in front. That's all prepped for it. Island lights, all kinds of accent lights. Awning extend. Now these slide outs here will handle your bedroom and your two kitchen slides. Up here is where you check your tank levels. Simply touch the button, it'll tell that tank's empty, that tank's empty, that tank's empty, brand new battery. And here's how many hours you have left on your generator if you ever install one of those. Now the slides for your front living room area are right around the corner behind the sofa. Back here we've got lighting for the front area and two spots for your slides. One here and one here. These will handle the front slides. Speaking of your living room, let's walk up the steps here. More lighting here. Nice solid handle. You know, these recline by pulling these handles. Use your feet to put them back. Both of these sofas will fold out into a bed. Tri-fold sofas. Tell you a little secret about fireplaces. They're not just for looks anymore. Turn your fireplace on. You can change the levels of the colors. And you can crank your heat up. So the secret is when it's a little chilly on a fall evening or early spring morning and you want to warm it up in here, instead of using your gas and you're plugged in, go ahead and plug in and turn on this fireplace. It's going to warm it up in here rather quickly. They will kick some heat out and they'll save you gas. Above that is your huge Furrion television. Remote for all that is in here. There's all your information for your Furrion system. AM, FM, Bluetooth, DVD player, auxiliary. You can do just about anything on that. And it looks like they gave you a video on how to use your ground control leveling system as well. Coming around up in your front living room, you do have this antenna. You want to crank that all the way to the left when you're traveling. Crank it to the right. When you get to the park, you want to scan for channels. Speaking of scanning, let's pull this release right here and open up your TV area. So back behind your television, where your cable goes in, is this little button. You're going to press that button until it's green. Once that button is green, then you scan for your channels. What that is, it's a digital channel booster, and you'll pick up 20 to 30 channels just by using that button. You can see how that locks back in for your television. Coming back down into your dining area, we'll note up on the roof Those are your return vents. Up in the ceiling there is your smoke alarm. Let's go over by your pantry. Down here on the floor, this little black area is the access panel to your breaker box and fuses. Looks like you got quite a variety there. 15s, 20s, 5, 25s. So I highly recommend having a variety, handful of fuses with you when you go camping. Last thing you need to do is blow a fuse and not have one on hand. Up above that, your max air fan. Here's where you turn it on. Here's where you open and close the vent. Here's where you turn it off. Next to that is your thermostat. In your island here, you do have this pop-up USB and 110. Time to talk about your stove. Yours does have the auto ignite, so you simply put this to light, press your button. Once the gas is filled up in this, you'll be able to get your flame there. Self-explanatory microwave. Let's head to the back. I do want you to note, in your bathroom, besides your lighting, you do have another 110 with GFCI protection here. And here is where you open your vent and turn your fan on for your exhaust fan up top. Also take note, behind your toilet, you have a little bit of plumbing to keep an eye on. Remember, you bounce a house down the road, you want to maintain this just like your own home. Keep an eye on your plumbing, make sure it's staying all nice and tight. Let's go into our bedroom now. Thermostat back here. Your lighting. 110 on both sides of the bed. I believe this is, yep, just some breathing lights. Another 110 on that side. Your Sansui television. And your emergency exit. Simply grab this, yank it out, push this out, and you can get right out that window in case of emergency. Do have this big closet here, which is prepped for a washer and dryer. Should you want to put a washer and dryer in this one day and do some serious camping. That's about it on the inside. This is just an access panel to the back of your tub. Same thing down here. USB ports and a 12-volt charger right up underneath your television. Alright, let's pretend we're done camping and we're going to go and close up and dump our tanks. Now we're going to talk about leaving the campsite. We're going to drain some waters. So underneath the slide on your campsite, you have this low point drain to empty. You can empty them right at the campsite. It's clean water. It's not going to hurt anything. Get stuff a little wet. Then we're going to come around to our off campsite. And we have a low point drain over here as well. Sorry, it's actually over underneath this slide. See it right there. Another low point drain to dump. And then lastly, you're going to come up here. Go ahead and burp your hot water heater again. And then pull your drain plug and get rid of all your hot water. After we've dumped all of our fresh waters, we're going to head up to the dump station. Now you do have a couple handles to pull, but you got one place for them all to come out. Black and gray holding tank area. Simply hook up your sewage hose, pull this black handle. Once you pull that black handle and it sounds like it's empty, leave that black handle pulled. Come right back up here to your docking station. And using your water pressure regulator, of course, we're going to hook up our tank flush. Make sure you leave that black tank handle pulled open and run this tank flush for about 5 minutes. What it's going to do is it's going to wash out your tanks really nicely for you. Get all that sewage nastiness out of there. Make sure you shut your water pump off if you're using potable water. Now before turning this on, you're going to go to sanitize. So, blue here, black here, white down, and these opposite. That's going to send this right to the black tank, and it's going to wash it out nicely. Once you get your black tank washed out, you're going to pull your gray tanks. Come back over here. And on the back side, right here, are your gray tanks to pull. You also have a black one over there. So once you pull your blacks and then pull your grays, that's going to empty your sewage out nicely for you. And then store your sewage hose in the bumper. Again, congratulations on your purchase of your beautiful Pinnacle here. We hope you enjoy it for many years to come. As we like to say here at TradeWinds, happy camping.